Good morning from Prague, from one of the most beautiful coffee places that, believe it or not, I just recently discovered. We are next to the Charles Bridge, and this is one of the few locations that is actually opened early in the morning and also serves breakfast. And I usually come here only for coffee, but Honza said to get some little cake so it looks good on camera. So today we're not only going to show you some nice places here in Prague, but also give you some serious tips for traveling and answer one of the most common questions that we get for our videos. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I always wanted to say that. I may need to change my habits to coffee and this. We got the morning tip for coffee by the Charles Bridge covered, but if there's one question that people ask the most, especially in the summer when travelers and tourists come to Prague, it is, hey, where can we safely exchange money in Prague? Well, let me answer that for you. You don't need to. I know we have different currency than you do, but you do not need to exchange cash to different cash. You can just pay and tap with your card anywhere you go in Prague. I mean, that little coffee place we've just been to, we tapped. You can even buy the traditional Czech trdelník with your card, and you don't need to go through the hassle of exchanging money, where also, quite often, it's in very bad favor for you. I mean, look at us. We're the little island of a different currency, so you may think that when we travel, we exchange money. No, we don't. When Honza travels, when I travel, when we travel together, we just tap with our cards, because bad exchange offices, that's not only a specialty for Czech Republic. I mean, we filmed about it in Italy. So instead of worrying about cash, the answer is in your pocket, because you're on vacation, so just enjoy it. Oh, and one more thing, and I hope this goes without saying, but I will still say it. If you are nearby an exchange office and somebody would approach you and offer you a better rate while exchanging money on the street, no, never accept that. It's a scam and a fraud and you'd be cheated, so don't do it. Cheater. Now, if you're really desperate for cash, the best, safest option would obviously be an ATM. But if you're withdrawing money here in Prague, the ATM may ask you if you want it with or without conversion. Now, it's always a better favor for you if you decline the conversion. And also, if you pay at a terminal inside any coffee place or something, you always want to pay in the local currency, which in Czech means with Czech crowns. Once again, in favor for you. I'm actually so old that I remember that paying with card was an obstacle, especially when you were in line in a supermarket and you wanted to pay with card. People behind you in the line were like, no, this is just gonna slow things down. Well, today it's the opposite, and paying with cash is the thing that slows lines down. For example, yesterday I was in my favorite beer garden called Dva Kohouti, and it was packed with people. And the outside bar would only accept cards because it's faster. If somebody would show up in the line with cash, it would just slow it down. And when I said it was packed, there was no line for the beer. By the way, we're in Café Míšeňská, a lovely little coffee place slash bar, and doesn't matter the size of the place in Prague, they also take cards. They have a great lemonade, and once we sat down in their little lovely backyard, we looked up and we found out that they have a chimney here that we never saw, even from the bridge or outside from the street. And we're gonna find out what it's for and unveil it on the future episode. For another travel tip, we moved to the Prague Metro, because if you want to use it, you need to buy a ticket. And there used to be these old machines that would only take change, coins, but that has changed. Now we have these new machines that are super easy to use. Please don't get me started about the previous ones, they were horrible, but these are easy, they speak 4 different languages, you pick the tickets you want, and then you just tap with your card and off you go. Oh, and if you don't want to take the metro and you want to take the Prague tram, you can also buy tickets right inside of the tram with your card. And if you don't want to use the mass transport and you want to be alone, you can of course use some bike sharing apps. Once again, you get the app, put your card in it, no need to worry any further. And if you want to use any taxi service in Prague, once again, I recommend downloading an app that is trustworthy, putting your card in the app, and therefore you will never have to argue about what the price is and haggle with cash, because that's where the tricks usually happen. We're mixing tips today, not only travel tips, but also tips for places in Prague. And we have arrived to a place called Přístav, which would translate to harbor. So we didn't take a tram here, but a cute little ferry. Really recommend a ride on it. And this place, believe it or not, even though I call myself guide, it's my second time here only. I was here for the first time yesterday and it was packed with people, great atmosphere. Right now, because we're here in midday, it's kind of empty. But if you come in the evening, you can get a lot of drinks and some cool food from this food truck. And even though this looks like an abandoned harbor, you can still easily pay with your card even here. We teamed up for this episode with Visa because not only us, but they also want you to be safe on your travels. And paying with card is safe and luckily absolutely normal here in Prague. We are a tap crazy nation. Wherever we go, we just tap either with your card or your watch or your phone. So when you come to Prague, stay cash free because cash is usually related to some sort of hassle. Card is not. I hope you liked today's travel tips and also tips for places here in Prague. If you want more, we have a full channel of videos like these. Honza behind the camera and also from the editing room, and Janek in front of the camera as usual. So I'll see you next week. Na zdraví. And in the end, I'm going to teach you a Czech word that you may be able to see in some shops or places in Prague, and that is bezkontaktně, which means contactless. So if you want to pay with your card contactless, in Czech it's bezkontaktně.